counterclockwise. Turn the screw counterclockwise to loosen it. The wheels spun counterclockwise. He moved his hand counterclockwise. The dancers turned counterclockwise in a circle. The earth rotates counterclockwise when viewed from above. She drew a counterclockwise spiral. The clock's hands don't move counterclockwise. He turned the knob counterclockwise. They walked counterclockwise around the lake. The fan spun counterclockwise. Dockland. They live in the old Dockland area. Dockland is now full of offices and flats. The Dockland once had many warehouses. Tourists visit the Dockland for its history. She took photos in the Dockland. The Dockland has a riverside market. He works in the Dockland district. The Dockland has modern skyscrapers. They walked through the old Dockland. Dockland redevelopment changed the city. Entreat. She entreated him to stay longer. He entreated the king for mercy. They entreated her to forgive them. The villagers entreated the soldiers to leave. He entreated his parents for help. She entreated him with tears in her eyes. They entreated the doctor to save the child. The letter entreated them to return. He entreated the crowd for silence. She entreated fate for a second chance. Evacuee. The evacuee stayed with a host family. They welcomed evacuees from the city. The train carried evacuees to the countryside. He was a child evacuee during the war. The evacuees arrived tired but safe. She worked with evacuee children. The camp sheltered evacuees. They gave food to the evacuees. The evacuee told his story years later. Evacuees waited for news. Extremities. The doctor checked his extremities for frostbite. He felt numbness in his extremities. The climber's extremities froze in the cold. She warmed her extremities by the fire. The extremities of the body need protection. They studied the extremities of the continent. The house sits at the extremities of the town. He reached the extremities of the desert. The extremities of the map were torn. She lives at the extremities of the island. The letter was sent by an anonymous writer. He made an anonymous donation to the hospital. The call came from an anonymous number. She preferred to stay anonymous in the report. The poem was published under an anonymous name. An anonymous witness helped the police. The painting is by an anonymous artist. They received anonymous feedback. He created an anonymous profile online. The survey remained completely anonymous. Arty. She lives in an arty neighborhood full of galleries. He wears arty clothes and vintage glasses. The cafe has an arty atmosphere. He always makes arty comments about films. She buys arty posters for her room. He acts a bit too arty for my taste. The festival attracts arty people. It's an arty shop selling handmade crafts. She decorated her flat in an arty style. He joined an arty circle of friends. Bursary. She received a bursary for her studies. The bursary covered her tuition fees. He applied for a travel bursary. They offer a bursary for young musicians. The bursary allowed him to study abroad. She was awarded a bursary for her research. The school provides a bursary for art students. He won a bursary to attend university. She lived on a bursary for 2 years. The bursary helped with living expenses. Cast iron. The pan is made of cast iron. He cooked on a cast iron skillet. The gate has cast iron bars. They built a cast iron bridge. She showed cast iron determination. His argument was cast iron. The law has cast iron rules. The old stove is cast iron. He wore cast iron boots. The contract is cast iron and unbreakable. Continuity. The film lacked continuity between scenes. They checked the script for continuity errors. She ensured continuity in the project. The teacher stressed the importance of continuity in learning. He wanted continuity in leadership. Continuity of care is vital in hospitals. The report lacked continuity of ideas. They maintained continuity in the story. He was responsible for continuity on set. The play showed continuity of theme. They cut peat for fuel. Peat burns well in stoves. The field is covered in peat. Peat soil is very rich. She walked across peat bogs. Peat is used in gardening. They collected peat bricks. Peat preserves ancient items. Peat gives the whiskey its flavor. The farmer sold peat to townsfolk. Practitioner. He is a medical practitioner. She works as a legal practitioner. Practitioners must follow the rules. The practitioner examined the patient. He spoke to a practitioner about the case. They trained as health practitioners. The practitioner wrote a report. She is a skilled practitioner of yoga. He met with a general practitioner. The practitioner gave useful advice. Randy. He made some Randy jokes. She called him Randy after his comments. The comedian told Randy stories. They laughed at his Randy behavior. She was tired of his Randy remarks. He had a Randy smile. People avoided his Randy humor. The movie had some Randy scenes. She scolded him for being Randy. His Randy comments embarrassed everyone. Refit. The ship needs a refit. They planned a refit of the building. The hotel closed for refit. He invested in a refit of the office. The car had a major refit. They did a refit of the boat. The shop is under refit. The refit took 6 months. She managed the refit project. They announced a refit of the museum. Sand dune. They climbed the high sand dune. The desert is full of sand dunes. A sand dune blocked the road. They rested on a sand dune. The wind shaped the sand dunes. She ran down the sand dune. The children rolled off a sand dune. Sand dunes stretch for miles. They camped near the sand dunes. A sand dune covered the path. Sorcery. The tale speaks of dark sorcery. He studied sorcery in old books. The villagers feared sorcery. The film showed sorcery and magic. Sorcery was forbidden in the kingdom. She was accused of sorcery. Legends tell of sorcery in the forest. He practiced sorcery in secret. The hero fought evil sorcery. Sorcery filled the land with fear. Tolerance. We need tolerance in society. She showed tolerance toward others. Tolerance is key in friendships. The teacher taught tolerance in class. He lost his tolerance after waiting. They need tolerance for differences. She showed tolerance of mistakes. Tolerance makes people stronger. He has no tolerance for lies. They learn tolerance through travel. Twitcher. A twitcher spotted a rare bird. The twitcher carried binoculars. Twitchers often travel long distances. He met other twitchers at the park. The twitcher wrote notes in a book. Many twitchers came to see the eagle. The twitcher was excited by the sighting. Twitchers enjoy birdwatching as a hobby. She spoke with an experienced twitcher. The twitcher took photos of the birds. The artist used geometrical shapes. They admired the geometrical design. The pattern is highly geometrical. She drew geometrical figures on the board. The carpet has a geometrical print. The garden was laid out in geometrical lines. He studies geometrical properties. The building has geometrical forms. The painting mixes geometrical and natural images. They solved a geometrical problem in class. Governess. The governess taught the children at home. She worked as a governess in Paris. The governess lived with the family. They hired a governess for their daughter. The governess gave the child lessons. She read stories as a governess. The governess managed the children's studies. He respected his governess greatly. The governess played piano for the family. She dreamed of being a governess abroad. Internee. The internee lived in a camp. They treated the internees poorly. He was an internee during the war. The internee wrote letters home. They freed the internees after peace. She worked with internee families. The camp had thousands of internees. An internee escaped from the camp. The internee told his painful story. They listed all the internees by name. Iodine. The doctor cleaned the wound with iodine. Iodine has a strong smell. She put iodine on the cut. Iodine stains the skin brown. They tested water for iodine content. He studies iodine in chemistry class. Iodine helps keep the thyroid healthy. The nurse applied iodine quickly. The bottle of iodine is in the kit. Iodine solution is used in science labs. Knighthood. He received a knighthood from the Queen. The actor was honored with a knighthood. They awarded him a knighthood for service. Knighthood brought him respect. He dreamed of knighthood as a child. The knighthood ceremony was formal. She attended his knighthood event. The knighthood made him famous. Knighthood is a rare honor. He accepted knighthood with humility. Mural. The artist painted a mural on the wall. The mural shows city history. They admired the mural in the church. He worked on a school mural. The mural covers the building's side. She photographed the colorful mural. The mural depicts a battle. A new mural decorates the square. The mural project involved many artists. He restored an old mural. Nobleman. The nobleman owned vast land. A nobleman lived in the castle. He was a nobleman by birth. The nobleman gave food to the poor. The king trusted the nobleman. She married a nobleman. The nobleman wore fine clothes. They met a nobleman in France. A nobleman's duties were heavy. The nobleman hosted a feast.